Good morning once again, and welcome. It's Breakfast Daily, and we're excited that you should join us this morning. Welcome. Dzifa, how are you?
I'm well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a pleasure, and it's always good to be back here and start the mornings with our viewers right on Channel 1 television.
How have you been?
Great.
Yeah.
Nearing election, we are all anticipating.
Right? Things are heating up.
Yeah, tensions are high and all of that, but we are hopeful for a peaceful, free and fair elections.
Absolutely. Welcome once again. It's Breakfast Daily. My name is David Kwaku.
And my name is Dzifa, Kaidy, Akoto. It's good to always start your mornings with you right here on Breakfast Daily, so you may want to stick with us. But need I remind you that today happens to be World Diabetes Day, and it is very, very important that we create awareness as much as we do when it comes to other things like breast cancer, how we go so hard on other awareness creations on other months. So it's very important that if you haven't checked, if you haven't been to the hospital the whole of the year, November is here as World Diabetes Day today, so go to the hospital and do get checked. Remember, as we always say, it is better to check to know your status than not check at all and being in the dark and not knowing what is actually going on in your body, because sometimes before the symptoms actually show, then it may be too late. So it's good that we are creating the awareness now. So do check at the nearest health facility and to be sure that you are okay. And also live a good life, check your lifestyle, healthy eating, exercises, and whatever they need to be done, you have to stay healthy. It is very important.
You know, Dzifa, we cannot belabor this point because, you know, especially in our part of the world, and let me refer specifically to Ghana, right? In Ghana, we have a very interesting culture. The mindset that once I don't feel anything negative in my body,
I'm okay.
I'm okay, right? But we all know that's not the case, right? Now, men are even worse. Of the population, men are the worst, you know, when it comes to this. Because it's almost as though the hospital represents weakness. The hospital represents, you know, shows people that all is not well with me, right? So why would I go there if I'm, you know, if I'm well, if there's not, if I don't feel anything wrong? But you see, that's the mistake that we make, because the truth of the matter is that anything, the earlier you catch it, the better your chances of overcoming it are, right? So diabetes, think about it. If you don't know you have it, it doesn't mean it can't kill you. Because we always pretend as if, you know how children do, when they cover their eyes, they expect that you don't see them. It's like, as if I don't see you, means you don't see me. That's what grown up Ghanaian men and women are doing. We won't go to the hospital, and it's as though that means that there's nothing wrong with us. It's like we're okay. But it's been proven over and over again. The earlier you go and you get checked, and if you discover that there's something, the chances of dealing with it and living a fruitful, long life are much greater.
We really need to be intentional about our health. We take a lot of things for granted, especially when it comes to our health. Like you rightly said, until somebody really has a headache, even at that, we rather just self-medicate, get over the counter and pick up some pain meds, and you take it when you're feeling better, you think you're okay. The next day, you're still having headaches, and you continue. The routine continues. But you may never know what is causing the headache.
Thank you. Because headache is only a symptom.
The consistent headache. That's why the doctors even say if symptoms persist for more than 3 days,
3 days max,
see the doctor.
Not more, anything beyond 3 days, see a doctor quickly. Because but you don't know what it is
we'll
that's
just
causing,
keep going back for the pain meds and all of that. We really need to be intentional about our health. You don't actually need to be sick before you visit the hospital. It is very important that you go to the hospital every now and then. Just walk into the hospital and say, look, I have come. I just want to check my health. I want to be sure that I am okay everywhere.
Let's even make a routine of it, right? And we say that every year, the first month of the year, in January, just pick a random month, but be consistent about it, okay? It makes it easier to remember. So just say, there may be your birthday month, right? Or let's say January. And give yourself a reason for why you're choosing the month. And then that month, make it a yearly routine that you go to the hospital to get a thorough checkup.
Yeah.
These days, a thorough checkup was maybe between 800 and 1,000 Ghana cedis, tops. That's, I mean, I'm talking about thorough checkup. Right, you're talking about blood, kidney function, liver function, your PSA levels. That is for the men in terms of your prostate. You're looking at fasting blood sugar, all the various indicators of different things. You can even throw in HIV, all these other things, hepatitis B. Check don't leave anything to check. Check all. You see, and if you do it once a year, something will show up if there's a problem. And if it shows up and it's early, hey, guess what? You can deal with it, you know. So, and beyond a certain age, like people like me, you have to do twice a year. Once a year is not enough, you know. So this is just free advice. So early morning free advice on a Thursday. Yeah, all right? So let's do that.
Right. On that note, let's give you the quote of the day for the morning. And this morning's quote of the day is coming from John Kabat-Zinn. John Kabat-Zinn. He says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf."
Oh, I love that.
I simply understand it as life is such that uncertainties may come, the difficult times may come, the tough moments will come. Obstacles, you encounter obstacles when you are trying to climb up the ladder of life.
Absolutely.
But whatever be the case, I mean, you can't stop them. They are with us.
It's coming.
Challenges are with us.
Whether you like it or
you
not.
Can't, but you rather have to
Tomorrow
just fight to navigate through the tough times. And then, as they say, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And sometimes it's beautiful to struggle through a journey. And when you see the success, you tend to appreciate it a bit more. I don't know how you feel about this.
No, think about it. I mean, if you watch people who are doing windsurfing, right? One of the most beautiful things when you see them is how a huge wave is coming, right? And it's about to crash on them. But you see, because they know how to surf, they're actually looking forward to the wave because there's something called riding the wave, you know? So it's amazing. The same thing that will drown someone. Another person who has learned how to surf is actually excited about that wave that's coming. The wave that's going to drown somebody else who doesn't know how to surf. This surfer, the one who knows how to surf, you know how to navigate the problem. You know how to navigate the challenges of life. And that's what we're talking about, right? So this same thing. So for example, diseases come to all of us. If it's not malaria, it will be cholera. If it's not cholera, it will be diabetes. If it's not diabetes, it will be cancer. There's something, one way or another, it's part of human existence. But learning how to surf, one of the things is teaching yourself how to be intentional about what you take in, how you live your life, and how often you get checked. These are things that you can say you're learning how to surf the waves, because that's what the waves do. You can't do anything about it. It will move how it wants to move. It's a fantastic quote of the day.
Of course,
I love it.
of course.
Yeah, we have a few reminders. Today at 9 a.m. we are bringing you Community Forum. The Channel 1 Community Forum comes to you at 9 a.m. this morning, so you don't want to miss out on that. This morning we have a truncated version of Breakfast Daily. So at 9 we cross over to Philip Ni Latte, and as he brings you fantastic conversations from a community near you. All right.
Right, Kwaku, a few days to the elections, the clock is ticking, tick-tock. The more reason why you need to stay tuned to Channel 1 TV as well as City 97.3 FM. We will be bringing you the ballot box on City 97.3 FM with our very own Christopher Kevin Sima. He's going to be having all the conversations, and the interesting thing about the show is that you get to participate. He does the show with you, so catch him every Monday to Thursday between the hours of 10 p.m. and midnight and join the ballot box with Christopher Kevin Sima.
Yes, and later on tonight on TV we have What the Papers Are Saying. And of course, what the papers are saying is brought to you by Vivian Kai Loco. You don't want to miss out on the great conversations of what the papers are saying, giving us a detailed breakdown of the important headlines that showed up on the print media this week. So what the papers are saying comes to you tonight. You don't want to miss out on that. Vivian Kai Loco will be your host.
Right. The Situation Room also comes your way right here on Channel 1 Television every Monday to Thursday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. with Umaru Sanda Amadou and Sami Riafe right here on Channel 1 Television. So you may want to stay with us right here on Channel 1 Television today, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. to catch the Situation Room. And
of course, as we approach the weekend, we're looking at the Wonder Space Show. Yes, Wonder Space Show with Miss Natalie, and of course with Discusse Kaidy, and you want to be part of that conversation. All right, so the Wonder Space Show is at 12 noon. All right, 12 noon. Every Saturday, you want to be part of that. All right, so that's the Wonder Space Show on Saturday at midday. And of course, we have the Matrix Verse as well this Saturday. The Matrix Verse comes to you tonight. Actually, it's on Saturday. At 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, all roads lead to the National Theatre for the Matrix Verse Experience 24. You want to be part of that. It's going to be a great one there. It's themed Roots and Blossoms. Roots and Blossoms. Yes, and it's going to be a fantastic one. Of course, Kwampa will be there giving us great music. For those of you who enjoy Kwampa, that'll be a fantastic experience for you on Saturday evening. And the likes of myself will be also on the stage, doing one or two things as well. So I would love to see you there. And if you do come through, make sure you say hi before you leave, right? Okay. So let's get into the papers that we have for this morning. And the print media have come in, and we have quite a few headlines. To help me go through the papers this morning, joining me one more time this week is Nana Tufo Boate. Hey, Nana.
Hey, David.
How you doing?
It looks like I'm stuck with you this week.
Yeah, it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing,
I know,
man.
right? I know, right?
Yeah, but how you doing?
I mean, I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm upbeat.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm upbeat.
The weekend is approaching, so
yeah.
Says a lot.
Charlie, it says a lot, really.
It says a lot. It says a lot. And I can't wait to be there to see you do your thing on stage.
Oh, yeah.
I look forward to it.
Charlie, what are the papers saying this morning?
The papers are saying that Saturday we want to come and see you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but indeed, the papers will be saying much more later today at 9 p.m. All right, here on Channel 1 TV when Vivian Kai Loco sits with her guests to bring you all the headlines that have made it to the dailies throughout the week.
Absolutely.
And of course, in-depth, insightful conversations will be had on it. So stay with us here on Channel 1 TV. I don't know what options you have.
What
stay
other
with
options?
us. Stay with us and enjoy it. All right, let's get into what the papers are saying this morning. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic. Front page says, public split over Parliament impasse. Majority rates legislature poor, others rates average good. That's according to a poll conducted by the Graphic. Okay. 2 modern markets inaugurated in Techiman and in Kranza. Local government minister urges good maintenance, which is quite important because most often than not, you find that our poor maintenance culture leads to the destruction of some of these facilities. Yeah. Even way before their time. All right, border security experts seek effective measures for sub-region. Petroleum Hub project will create job opportunities. This is according to the project boss. That's on the front page of the Daily Graphic. And if you jump to the back page, you have GRA certifies 9 companies to enhance revenue mobilization. Well, that'll be it for the Daily Graphic this morning.
Okay, the Ghanaian Times says YEA Fisheries Commission military partner to train youth in fish farming. This story originally came out yesterday. We also have Ghana earns $800 million through carbon trading. President announces carbon trading. Okay, protecting Ghana's democracy, guard free speech and rule of law. Professor Haynes. Professor Haynes spoke at the CDD event at the British Council earlier this week, and I happened to be at that event. You know,
oh, great.
As well, yeah.
Great.
So, very interesting thoughts on Ghana's democracy and what we can do to make sure that we don't derail the gains that we've made so far. Yeah.
Interesting.
Chief Justice orders reopening of 4 courts in Upper East Region.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the Chronicle newspaper. Chronicle appears heavy on Nigeria this morning. GRA seizes Nigeria-made explosives at Aflao border. Smugglers assisting state security agencies in their investigations. We need to know why they are here.
Yeah.
What they are meant for, and why are they being smuggled into the country? And why are we procuring explosives from Nigeria, whoever it's, well, I'm sure the details will spell out more. PNC Forum to discuss next frontier for Nigerian content implementation.
Okay.
Brian promises irrigation setup for drought-prone regions. Comes with a picture of Dr. Brian Achampong, Minister for Food and Agriculture. YEA partners military to train youth in fish farming. Okay, that's the front page. Let's take the scripture for the day. It's from the book of Psalms, chapter 10, the verse 15. Break the arm of the wicked and the evildoer. Seek out his wickedness until you find none.
Okay. Okay. Chronicle, thank you.
Yeah.
Whoever you are shading this morning, it's okay. We have heard. We have heard.
Oh, who says it's a shade?
No. Chronicle only shades with scriptures.
No.
You don't think so?
Chronicle
Follow
will
the
give
pattern.
you a daily dose of the word of God.
Okay, that's all it is.
It's evangelism through print media. That's all it is.
Okay.
I'm not sure they are shading any. And that shade were black or what color
It's
shade?
okay, it's okay. Daily Guide says Baumia meets Catholic bishops, and you see him photographed there with a whole lot of Catholic bishops there. And of course, you can see some other political bigwigs in there. I can see Kobene Japan, I can see is it Chimen Sabonsu as well in that insert there. All right. We also have here non-partisan approach needed to fight terrorism. Kandapa is speaking. A Juraman declares support for VIP, and AG files Salifo Mwako and wife trial papers. Okay, so those are the headlines from the front page of the Daily Guide.
All right. I'll take you to the new publisher real quick. Supreme Court rules 5-2 against Bagman. Majority leader calls for peaceful united parliament. Akuya Donko's party disqualified. Okay. That's the new publisher.
Okay.
Yeah.
The anchor, it says, UMAT to clean Galamsey polluted water bodies using technology. Vice Chancellor reveals. This thing, this story, you and I were actually on set here when a few weeks ago, I think it's about 2 or 3 weeks ago, when the story came out that UMAT had developed a technology to purify water.
Yeah.
You know, and so it looks as if it's an expansion of that to try and go into the river bodies to actually clean up the river bodies as well. But it'll be interesting to see what the details are in the story. There's nothing more dangerous than a learned thief, Boachi Ejako is saying. Yeah. She say, a thief who know nothing is better than a thief who know plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in the knowledge and its application,
is the ability to steal more.
Exactly. And the ability to conceal so that they are never found out. Yeah, I like that.
And NDC MPs to disrupt parliament sitting again. It's a strange headline. NDC MPs to disrupt parliamentary sitting again. Did they ever disrupt
It's a
parliamentary
question,
sitting?
right?
Yeah. It presupposes within the question that
during this
they've
period,
done it before.
Yeah, well, they have done it before, but if we're taking the period under review, it's actually the other side of the house that has been boycotting.
Anyway, don't vote for NDC to cancel free SHS, Takwa MP tells students. And you don't understand loyalty, Subin MP rebukes MacDan. All right.
But I suspect the Parliament story was culled from an interview we had here on Channel 1 TV.
Okay.
If it's coming with a picture of the Odududu MP, Nilanti van der Poel, then I suspect it's from an interview we had here on Channel 1 TV on the day that the ruling was given. The Supreme Court gave the ruling that overturns Speaker Bagben's ruling. I suspect that because I think it was Nilanti van der Poel that said that they won't go to the House until after the elections. So perhaps that is why the question is being asked. But as to the reoccurrence within the period under review, that I'm not sure. But I strongly suspect this is from a Channel 1 News interview.
Yeah, he says here, and I quote, he says, Nilanti, however, noted, we will respond to a call by the Speaker of Parliament and we will evaluate that call, look at the timing and see whether it is convenient for us. Yeah,
it's from that interview.
All right.
It's from that interview. The Political Digest this morning, heavy on the NPP and its campaign activities, says a Dramine praise for Bawumia. Okay. Napo wants increased focus on tourism. Bawumia not running away from NPP record. This is Asibe Yeboah speaking. Okay. This also, I suspect, is from a point of view interview here on Channel 1 TV. And if you go to the top right-hand corner, says, I want to be an advocate of the vulnerable and voiceless. This is Alma Pokuya Adade Prempe, wife of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempe, speaking.
Lovely.
Okay.
All right.
So sometimes I just wonder a little bit why we need political exposure, if not political power, to be the voice of the voiceless. In our own small ways, our own small corners, we can do that.
It's something we should be doing without necessarily being attached to political something, you know.
The season presents itself.
Absolutely.
An opportunity for grabs. So, yeah.
The business analyst says, election 2024, effective fact-checking, non-negotiable. The GJA president is speaking there. 40th Farmers' Day. Agric Minister advocates for climate resilient agric practices. Yeah, and I hope we will take that seriously and make sure that 100% of our grounds, of our fertile fields are, irrigated, so that we stop all this rain-fed agriculture. You know, it's like we need to be serious, about this thing. Take action on climate change. Akufo-Addo urges world leaders at COP29. The BOG inaugurates new $250 million headquarters on November 20th. You should see the frantic finishing moves.
Akufo-Addo says what?
Akufo-Addo says, take action on climate change. He's urging world leaders at COP29.
Take action on illegal mining. Ghana is urging Akufo-Addo.
No, I'm intrigued at how strong he's advocating at the world stage when his own backyard is replete with issues. Not only Galamsey. Have you seen the electronic waste site?
David, I tell you what, yesterday there was that Chimota Speaks lecture series, right?
Yes.
Professor Chris Gordon, former director of the Institute of Environment and Sanitation Studies, spoke. He says we're losing soil to Galamsey. And if you quantify it, it's 200,000 12-ton trucks yearly.
200,000
12-ton trucks yearly.
Hey.
We're losing it to Galamsey.
The 12-ton trucks, is that not the
tipper?
The mining, the double axle type of...
And you have 200,000 of them. Listen, they can line up from here to Boko.
Yes.
And we're losing that much soil to illegal mining.
Wow.
What else do you want to hear or see? And isn't that also, an effect of Isn't that a contributor to climate change?
It's a major contributor to climate change.
And the global warming we experience.
It's a major contributor. Look, the forest cover that we are losing, the speed at which we are losing forest cover, is a major contributor. And everybody who is in the presidency that is listening to us and watching, please tell that we are saying here that, listen, we are aware of what is going on. It's not as if we don't know. So it is rich to hear him say these things on the world stage. But back home, we need action. It's very rich to hear it on the world stage, but back home, we need action.
We wish him well. We wish him well.
Anyway.
Daybreak this morning says, NPP offers superior economic policies, says Richard Ahiagba. Okay, Brian Achampon calls for climate change sensitive agric. Immigration officers to miss voting. Oh, okay, I'm sure we'll get details in the paper. And Ghana prepares for new MCC engagements. That's it for the Daybreak newspaper.
All right. Now, the New Republic has a very interesting front page. It says, in the matter of Supreme Court versus Parliament, the Winneba, not Winneba, the Winneba Mafia. It sounds very mischievous.
Very.
But you guys can see it for yourself there. It says the Chief Justice, it says hails for Winneba. I suppose it means hails from Winneba. Then Afenyo Makin MP for Ewutu. Ewutu. That's also Winneba. And that's this combination. He's trying to do some extrapolation and trying to combine and conjoin and is trying to do something with the thing. I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Who's the editor of the paper?
I can't see. I don't know. It means I think you are stretching it, Charlie. New Republic. I think you are really stretching it. Anyway, but it's your opinion.
Yeah.
Bakavomo calls for judicial reforms, announces CJ's systemic abuse, denounces rather CJ's systemic abuse. How MPP fed SHS students with contaminated rice. Ablakwa reveals shocker of shockers. And turnout in forceful NDC victory, Prof. Opoko Ajiman tells Volta Region. And so those are the headlines on the front page of the New Republic.
All right, finally from me is the BNFT, Business and Financial Times. In tech, it says government must foster AI-friendly environment. This is attributed to business executives.
Okay.
BOG commits to robust credit market amid debt recovery challenges. In aviation, it says Ethiopian Airlines expands market offering with new Airbus A350-1000.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Rural banking, rural and community banks set for 23rd BGM in Kumasi. Shift from high risk to structured innovation in African fintech imminent, as according to a tech expert. And there's an impact story in the BNFT. So when you grab a copy, you will get the details thereof. Yep. That's it for me.
Okay, let me take you to some online stories. And we want to take a look at citynewsroom.com first of all. GHS, that is Ghana Health Service, recommends reinstating COVID-19 hygiene protocols to control cholera spread. I agree 100% because we've said it time and again here. Yeah. We noticed that our cholera, incidences dropped virtually to zero during COVID, so it was something that we were doing right, and we should just bring it back. NDC's primary healthcare policy offers more impactful solutions for Ghana. This is Professor Beyo speaking there. Mahama accuses MPP government of successfully collapsing PBC. Those are some of the headlines on the citynewsroom.com. Let me take you to channel1news.com. Right. Baumia's free dialysis promise, not a political gimmick, of being Ejekum there. We also have, again, Professor Titus Beyo. He says primary health care policy superior to MPPs and traditional leaders not solely responsible for Galamsey crisis. And his name here is Ehuna Bobrim. Just say, Yeah. When you see him, it causes shivers.
Yes, you should
you
panic.
Go,
you should
shake. Agensiam the 6th. All right. So those are some of the headlines. You want to do any details?
No, I'm sure. I mean, Ghanaians can go on any of our portals,
Yeah.
citynewsroom.com, channel1news.com, and you get details of almost all the stories that we have mentioned there. But if you want to catch up on data regarding elections in Ghana, go to elections.citynews.com.
Yes.
election.citynewsroom.com, citynewsroom.com.
Yes.
And you get all the 411, all the data regarding past elections and, of course, election-related activities there. All the analysis are there. We've simplified it for you, and so you get linear graphs and all of that there. Stay with us for comprehensive coverage of the 2024 general elections and our other election-related activities. Don't forget the hashtag Ghana Post 2024, hashtag CityVerify, hashtag Election Bureau, because indeed, this is your election bureau.
All right.
All right.
So the UMAT story, just a quick one there. It says that
on cleaning the water.
UMAT is UMAT is actually a recent. They say they recently partnered with the Minerals Income Investment Fund.
MIF.
MIF to tackle water pollution. So I mean that's the story in here. We'll see how that rolls
good stuff.
out.
We are for innovation, so we want to, especially locally engineered innovations. And so, great stuff. Great stuff. We wish them well.
Yeah. All right. Well, sports is next.
Welcome back. Now let's do some sports stories now on Breakfast Daily. The AFCON 2025 qualifiers is what we are starting with. And the Ghana Black Stars arrived in Luanda yesterday ahead of Friday's AFCON 2025 qualifiers. The team flew out from Accra yesterday afternoon after completing 2 training sessions on Monday and Tuesday. The Stars are expected to train today at the 11th November Stadium in Luanda before meeting the Angolans on Friday. Ghana are in need of their very first victory in the qualifying series, and any other result will mean that the team will definitely miss the 2025 AFCON tournament in Morocco. Even if the Black Stars do get a victory, a point or more for Sudan in their game against Niger today will send them to the AFCON at Ghana's expense.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Premier League or City News, and Premier League referees chief Howard Webb says West Ham should not have been awarded a penalty during Eric Ten Hag's final game in charge of Manchester United on 27th of October. Now, the Hammers were given a decision on the recommendation of video assistant referee Michael Oliver following Matthijs de Ligt's challenge on Danny Ings. Now, David Coote, on the on-field referee, had waived play following the incident, but awarded a penalty after reviewing the incident on the pitch side monitor. Jared Bowen scored the penalty, sealing a 2-1 win for West Ham. Now, Ten Hag was sacked less than 24 hours later. The on-field referees are not required to follow the recommendations of the VAR official, and Webb explained that the VAR should not have been involved in deciding the incident. And so the debate seems to rage on unabated, regarding this whole VAR issue. And some people think it's a good thing, some people don't think it's a good thing. Right. And sometimes the decisions are a little bit questionable, But anyway, it's a developing system, so hopefully you get it right eventually.
Right, of course.
But the Blasters.
I was going to say that I was actually going to comment on that. I'm hoping that I don't even know where to stand anymore, because
we can't even hope for a win. How are we going to hope for a win? No, you were on your home turf. At
this point,
you couldn't win on your home turf.
See.
Listen, Dzifa. The God who made the universe he's in Ghana and he's in Angola. If the God who made the universe didn't help us to win in Ghana.
The Angolans are calling on him to help them get a win. Huh?
Please. Even right now, I'm hearing rumors that, well, it's not even rumors, it's out there, that some players are saying that they are hurt.
Well,
but we are watching them.
Eight of them,
We'll see whether they'll be
quite
playing.
A large number.
We'll see whether they'll be playing, you know. Anyway, it's international break, so
they can buy
if you don't see them, they will buy some time, then they will show up again on the field playing after the international break.
Anyway, that's what we have for you by way of sports this morning on Breakfast Daily. We take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be having conversations on cholera, so you need to stick and stay with us. Please stay. We'll be right back.
Get ready.
Every objection against you is hereby dismissed.
For Impact 2024 with the Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Dr. Eastwood Anaba, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Isi Igeneba, Bishop Dr. Bernard Ojiri Asari, and Reverend Dr. David Entry. November 24th to December 1st, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily at Action Chapel International, Prayer Cathedral, Dominion Arena. For inquiries or pass information, call 059-230-0069.
Do you want a healthy smile?
Are you anxious about dental visits? Do you often cancel or reschedule your dental appointments to avoid the stress? Hi, I'm Tanya from Bethel Dental Ghana. We understand that dental anxiety is real and can be overwhelming, but it shouldn't stand in the way of getting the dental care that you need. Introducing Conscious Sedation Dentistry. Conscious sedation dentistry options ensure a calm and relaxed experience for patients to receive the necessary dental care with less stress. This means you do not need an escort to accompany you home. Nitrous oxide helps you to feel calm and comfortable while still being able to respond and follow directions. Bethel Dental Clinic, your partner in relaxed dentistry for a healthier, happier smile.
Healthy smile.
Life is a celebration of moments.
Big
and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Dr. Baumian once said,
the economy is going to grow and grow and grow, and we will have jobs and jobs and jobs. This is the economy of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
The unemployment rate, which stood at just 8% in 2016, has hit an all-time high of 15%. The latest 2024 Afrobarometer indicates that unemployment is the biggest problem facing the nation. You trust this liar at your own peril. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Luck is everywhere.
8K. Hey, wait. You go put it on his tab. This is my man.
Good luck. Bill Radio. We are star 712. I'm on dialing the magic numbers. Star 712. Now welcome to the luckiest. And now with me at home ticket. You can buy for yourself or your loved ones.
Mommy, tell mommy who's
here. You're buying
for me, right?
Or who else?
Oh.
Let's choose buy tickets for others.
Love you, boo boo.
No, maybe straight to option 4. Now, you need to buy tickets worth 50 Ghana to qualify. Yes, you can buy random or preferred tickets. I'm choosing random tickets. Listen, if you buy the random ticket, the system chooses a random number for you. But if you buy the preferred, you get to input your own preferred 5 digits. 5. Now follow the prompts and confirm. Now the luckiest.
The Luckiest is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform, not for persons below 18 years. TNCs apply.
Welcome back. It's time for us to get into the communities, various communities around the country, and look at developmental issues. Today we're looking at health, and we're looking at the issue of the outbreaks of cholera in different parts of the country. It's a very serious thing. If we break it down to basics, cholera is about being dirty, being unhygienic. That's what it is. If we really break it down, that's all it is. It's unhygienic practices. That's all it is. And so it speaks to the fact that we need to do way more than we're doing in terms of interventions, in terms of advocacy, in terms of publicity, in terms of education. You know, NCCE, what are we doing? Ghana Health Service, what are we doing? You know, municipal assemblies, what are we doing? All these bodies I've mentioned their names have a role to play in the communities and in the incidence of whether cholera diminishes or, you know, increases, flourishes, right? Dzifa?
Kwaku, it's a very serious thing because I made a post on social media the other time about how we need to maybe reinstate what we used to call tankers.
Yes.
Town council.
Yes.
You know, a few years ago, we had this group of people that go around communities, various
Actually,
households.
it's a while ago.
Right. Various households.
Because when I was a child, I think they were fading out at the time when I was a kid, you know.
And when they see any improper disposal of waste, dirt all around your house, where you sell your food, and all of that, you are being summoned, giving a fine to pay. So at some point in time, it was keeping everybody on their toes. And when you hear that town cast is coming, or tankers, as we used to call them, tankers is coming. I mean, they are in a rush to...
I think they used to be called summon because they will summon you.
Exactly.
Right? They had the authority to summon you, to show up and come and explain.
I mean, we don't need to get there, but
we do need to get there.
This is where we've gotten to as humans. Excuse me, we want to be treated as though we are children, but we are full-grown humans. We are responsible for ourselves and for our lifestyles.
Dzifa,
so if you want somebody to actually be on your case before you do the right thing, knowing well that I do not have to put rubbish in the gutter, but a Ghanaian will carry trash from their homes and then put it in the gutter. When it's raining and they see that the rainfall is heavy, they bring all their trash from outside and they put it.
They don't care where it ends up.
So wrong.
Yeah. But you see, I understand when you say that as responsible adults, grown-ups, citizens, we should know better, right? But guess what? Other places where people don't do the things we do, right, is because they are afraid of getting summoned
anyway
and getting fined. Because they will be fined.
Right.
You see that thing? So what they've done is that we used to have the town council who were empowered, the town council officials who were empowered with, you know, they could summon you to the assembly. You come and explain your actions. You'll most likely be fined if that's all that happens. You may be prosecuted, and even you have to go to court. You know, and all those things would happen. It happens in other jurisdictions. So places where you find that are clean is because there are punitive measures that the same human beings are afraid of. That's why the Ghanaians who make Ghana dirty, when they go to America, they don't make America dirty.
Because
then you will go and pay hefty fines.
Yes. We were in this country where we saw stories of restaurants or food joints cooking under unhygienic conditions. Yes. And sometimes when you think about all of these things and you really want to stay away from these things, then you'll never buy food from anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, why would a reasonable person see filth or see dirt and say, that is where I want to do my stuff?
Yeah.
Without clearing our community. And cholera is taking lives.
Have you not heard the statement that Ghanaians like to throw around? The food by the gutter, no? You see, the food by the gutter, no?
Tastes better.
It tastes nicer. You see, when you even as we sing these kinds of songs to ourselves and tell ourselves these stories, it's no wonder these challenges persist. Because we don't say clean the gutter. We say the food by the gutter with the flies, you know, is nicer. It's a mindset. Fellow Ghanaians, it's a mindset. Change your mind, because the fly on your food is disease. That's what it is. Do you know the filth that fly has just stood on and has flown to come and stand on your food and has transported germs to your food? Because you can't see the germs, you are just very happy, and you are saying that the flies add protein to the food. Shame on you.
There's another saying that African germs don't kill. African germs don't kill. They actually really do.
In it. Well, we are dying. Really we are dying, in it. Look, how many people have died so far from cholera? Like 16.
16, and I won't be surprised if the numbers are increasing.
So think about it. If African germs don't kill, why is our life expectancy as low as it is compared to other places? Anyway, so cholera, we've had incidents of it, outbreaks in Adan, we've had outbreaks in Kaswa. It's a serious thing. And you know, the strange thing about the Kaswa one was that 2 weeks before the Kaswa outbreak came out, we had gone to do community forum in Kaswa. And one of the ladies, I remember her talking about the filth and the filth disposal problems that they were having in Kaswa. It's a very serious, and she lamented at how the situation was. Just a couple of weeks later, an outbreak. Anyway, so we're going to take you to Adan first of all. And there's a report that we have for you. We have a report for the different areas, but we'll take a look at the first one from Adan. Let's take a look at this report.
The World Health Organization defines cholera as an acute diarrheal infection caused by ingesting food or water contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae. Despite efforts to combat this global threat since Ghana first recorded a case in the 1970s, the country continues to struggle with finding effective solutions due to inequities and a lack of social development. The Ghana Health Service recently confirmed 43 cases in the Adan enclave with 2 fatalities. The epicenters include Azizanya, Pote, Totope, and Anyakpo. A survivor of the disease, Joshua Agbeshi, recounted his ordeal to Channel 1 News.
When I went, it was for 2 days and I came back. So with that one, like, when I came back, I was still having some kind of experience with it, like, but I think it's normal. Maybe if you go to the hospital and come back, it will be something.
What were the symptoms you experienced?
Yeah, you'll be like feeling dizzy, going to the toilet, and it feels like water. Yeah, and sometimes you'll be feeling like your stomach, just feeling something moving around your stomach.
Deputy Director of Disease Surveillance at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Dennis Laye, attributed the situation to the poor hygienic conditions in the affected communities.
So there are the aspects of managing the cases which we as a service have taken upon ourselves, and we are doing it in line with our mandate. But there are things in the environment, there are things with water and sanitation that ought to be looked at, and that is what we are also working with stakeholders to ensure these can be addressed.
Azizanya, a well-known fishing community in the Adan East District, has long faced unfavorable hygienic conditions. This is an unregulated dumping site here in Azizania, and that's because residents say they do not have a formal place designated for dumping their refuse. I mean, the stench here is inexplicable. At a point, I even had to tiptoe to get to this place because of the droplets of human excreta on the way. What is even more worrying is that this place is situated in the middle of a settlement. So if the camera could pan around me, you could see houses around. This is really indeed to give a pictorial representation of the worrying insanitary situation here in Azizania. Residents report that the situation worsens during rainy seasons.
Because of that, I pipe color. Wa ponyo ke woman ka nga pipe ne wa dua. Le you ji do mi ke no me na nga hio hu. Le ji na wo do me ke puo. In a
community of over 1,000 inhabitants, only 3 households have access to flowing water, with one source supplying the entire community. So in instances where you do not have regular water flow from your taps, do you at any point rely on the water from the river?
I use
These water storage receptacles are common in homes, but when necessary, residents rely on a nearby river, which is regularly used for bathing and other domestic activities.
To water and those things, I think it's the cause of the river, because most of the time we use the river water. I think sometimes it will be contaminated before we use any. So
use the river water for what?
Mostly for bathing. Sometimes we bath at the riverside, sometimes we fetch it to the house. Maybe mistakenly they can use it to wash the plate and all those food stuff. So I think it's the cause of it. Sure.
This stream, though a source of tilapia for fisherfolk, also serves as one of the many unregulated dumping sites in the community, raising concerns about food safety. However, fishmonger Eunice Madete believes their method of preserving the fish keeps them safe for the market. Scientists report that water saved for a long time without purification and the right temperature may contain bacteria and negatively impact its pH level. So we asked how long residents like Eunice store water in their receptacles before consumption. Keep all clean hunter, because we like a new sometimes a chair no kolo bibi come
wasa mike no etampe no ese kengem eswi 1 month e come kan 1 week pe second time no papa Jake Mando.
Open defecation is prevalent due to the lack of toilet facilities, and our visit to the seaside was a reality check. So this is the Wonya Sea here in Azizania, a natural scenery that could indeed serve its purpose while providing a source of livelihood for residents. But this sea has become an Achilles heel for residents due to their own activities. They say for time immemorial they have been compelled to ease themselves over here. The shores have become the only place of convenience for residents as captured by our lenses at the time of our visit.
Oh, wabe toilet inge mam. Wonyale waya toilet inge. Nga wonya. Wabe toilet kunge mam.
Public toilet be jaka wasu ba nyu so just mam. Do ka chwa toilet do no ma wo no the toilet lebe mam.
There is an interesting twist to it. A demarcation here at the shore where residents have resulted in easing themselves. To my left, I'm told it's reserved for men, and to my right for female. So I'm told that on a normal day you would come here to see persons in what you could possibly describe as a parade of them easing themselves here at the Wonya Sea side. The attempt to provide a toilet facility in the community has been met with multiple challenges. This is part of the 12 cubic toilet facility expected to respond to the sanitary needs of the people here in the Azizania community. But the project has stalled for the past 12 years. It's essentially become a white elephant because of the wet nature of the community. The manhole, we are told, is filled with water because the land is really waterlogged. The situation is no different at Totope, a neighboring town of Azizana, where residents depend largely on these springs for their domestic activities, including cooking without purification.
There are peculiar challenges we have identified in this area, and one of them has to do with the low water table, and it's known to the assembly and others, and so that presents challenges, particularly with open defecation, because if our understanding is that if you even dig a very shallow well, it will get filled immediately with water. So for them, providing toilet facilities will not be as simple as it will be in other places. And it is the reason why, if we're not careful, this can also spread out or get out of hand. So it's important that we look at these situation and address them well.
Christiana Ajijodi, one of the fortunate individuals who recovered from cholera, explained that the situation has led to frequent communal labor by residents.
Friday ama che communal labor ngema kolobemine acho communal labor ihe kama mbi mo fu akefo no kama hionge mamia wo kola fuala agio ni ke ya wo manyala pio communal labor nge wo manya kola jiyem ke bwa mi ke ha wo kan communal labor na ache ke ha wo e po wa hepiele abo ke adrama mi hu e ha we ne yo ne pale se mami ke ha wo pio wa hia pio nge wa mami kom pio wa be toilet ko nge ko wa be he ko kom ne wa gba nge peji wonya le sa kan wa hia wa loko wa be hio na ne wa ma hio no ma gbo nge mam pio jan wa pe fali ke wonya ne wa ya ne wa gba wen sa kan wa na toilet nge wa mam loko ji wa keke hio no ma gbo nge mam ke ha wo.
Cholera spares no one, not even 4-year-old Derek, not his real name, who was affected. As part of measures to contain the spread, the Ghana Health Service and the Ada East and West District Assemblies have initiated measures to enforce safety directives at public gatherings through a joint task force.
During COVID, we put in some of these measures. So, for example, instead of people sitting to have the buffet-style eating, the recommendation was to pack. Now we have the recommendation is that, you know, as much as possible, let's not even distribute food there, but even if food is going to be shared there, it should be such that people take it away. But the emphasis is more on the hand washing, and so the district assembly provides facilities for hand washing at these funerals. So at this meeting, for example, it's been agreed, so together with the police, the environmental health department of the assembly and the Ghana Health Service, they have task teams that will be going to the 3 major towns as they go through the weekend of funeral festivities to ensure that these hand washing facilities are available and people are using them so that we can reduce the risk of spread.
Dr. Lai also called on relevant stakeholders to urgently address the sanitary crisis in Ada to keep the spread of the deadly disease.
I want to also take advantage to ask for support, particularly from our international partners, to address the issues around access to water and sanitation facilities so that we can be able to deal with this outbreak.
They say cleanliness is next to godliness, but residents in parts of Ada do not only need this as a path to heaven, but a means to survive on earth. The recent cholera outbreak has prompted the need to urgently address the insanitary condition in this enclave. For Channel 1 News,
Wow.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very difficult report to watch, brought to us by Fauzu Masawudu. Thank you very much, Fauzu, for doing such an amazing job on this report. You see, there's a lot to unpack in this. There's a lot to unpack. You know, we treat our beaches with disdain. We don't value the beach, the waterfront. by and large, along the entire coast from Axem, Hafasini Axem, all the way to Aflao, very few places are pristine. And those ones typically to be maybe a private developer or something who has decided. But as for the Ghanaian communities, a lot of rubbish, a lot of open defecation. I've traveled to almost all those places and I've seen it, you know. Especially the years that I was working as a photographer, it was one of the things I used to enjoy doing a lot, is to just travel, and you know, and I've seen it. The few places that are pristine are the places that are belonging to, you know, private developers. It's unacceptable. You see, it just shows that the state has gone to sleep when it comes to beaches. We've gone to bed when it comes to the beachfront, the waterfront of Ghana, because you go to somewhere like Senegal, Gambia, right? People in Europe make it a yearly trip to come and do summer holidays.
We can't say same
at
about
the beachfront.
We cannot
of
say same.
Senegambia. It's shocking that in Ghana we've left our beachfront to just, it should just be whatever anybody wants to do, should just do with it.
When you're even driving past the beaches, the stench that comes.
It's like the beachfront smells more than anywhere in the country.
The stench that
comes. That is the
from
place that should have the freshest air because of the sea and the open, you know, access to the sea. But not in Ghana. It's like everything seems to be upside down.
We are the same people calling out on the galamseyers or those doing illegal mining. But this is also very...
It's a crisis.
It's very bad. We really need to stop it.
It's a crisis. We're going to go over to Kaswa and just get a sense of the outbreak that has also, you know, happened over there. We have a report for you. As many as 5 people have lost their lives to cholera from the Kaswa area. Let's take a look at this report.
Ewutu Senya East Municipal Chief Executive Anita Love Oboemisa confirmed that 3 people succumbed to the disease yesterday, with 2 more fatalities recorded this afternoon, raising the death toll to 5. Emisa expressed concerns about the potential spread of cholera, urging Kaswa residents to stay vigilant, maintain a healthy environment, and prioritize healthy eating. She also noted that cases are being referred from nearby areas, including Ewutu Senya West and Gumwa East District, calling for joint efforts to combat the outbreak. The MCE commended health authorities for their quick response and advised residents to remain alert.
Nyimpa enum oye 5 na sebe wonam da yerbedu na wa hwe won kwa na se ye hwe oye Kaswa Polyclinic on mother and child na bia New Market. Most of New Market were refer baha as at that no around 2021, but in the we sure was wapa 25 who were almost 30. But and you just some of me there. Our doctors worry as a partner necessary. Maybe who there they've managed a lot of people. Nyamena dum unwansu wo hu ye. Inti ma yesranye there. Baby biara wono ye besra hwan. Obia mbo no ho ban na zizim onzi ezibana oye show onhohoro ne nsa ho. Na sitiara ye ba ye hu there the regional health director so or around. In fact mobo yana maame na abaudo. They are doing a yeoman's job throughout Ndeda and the pay and matching yinara. What's one now we living in Ampo wa from one ma waba. Gomwa East wa record waba Kaswa. Ewutu West wa record waba Kaswa and Sana ahantaz and I'm omede or spread. And there is this today. So worry about bi anyimpa no refi. Original na sort taxi ma. Eja oye airborne taxi driver no be prepare you no on disinfect on yehwe onam do onyi hu nyimzi nti na waasa na oza aka fanyimpa fofo nti e besre onya masade ni sipe ma moncher bombozina na bra it's na future obeye no na anyeye.
Ewutu Senya East Municipal Environmental Officer Godson Lodo highlighted essential practices for residents, particularly traders, to prevent further spread of the disease.
All right, so that's a report brought to us by Calvis Tete. Calvis Tete is our Central Regional Correspondent, bringing us up to date with what is happening in Kaswa. Now, Dzifa, it's a terrible situation to find ourselves in.
Very, very terrible.
Yeah. We're going to speak to Dr. Kelvin. Dr. Kelvin Owusu. Dr. Kelvin has joined us. Hello, Dr. Kelvin. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Dr. Kelvin. Hello, Dr. Kelvin.
Hi, David. How's it going? It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to have you here.
Same here.
All right.
Even though the subject for discussion is not too exciting.
I know, right? Yeah. So, Dr. Kelvin, I want you to help us walk through why it is that we are having cholera outbreaks at this time.
That's a very difficult question to answer. Now, I mean, and you are right, 2024, why are we dealing with cholera? I mean, cholera is that disease that literally tells us that we have neglected some of the most basic things that are required for human existence. You know, as far back as the 18th century, right, when cholera was actually discovered in London, they had a standpipe, and anybody that fetched water from that particular standpipe developed a diarrheal disease. You know, and that is what led to the discovery of the bacteria that causes cholera. And that standpipe was closed, shut off permanently. And when it was shut off, the cholera outbreak slowed down and eventually was brought under control.
Wow.
So we know that there's a connection between water and cholera. And we also know that there's a connection between sanitation and cholera, you know. And more so, how we handle human waste, human excreta, because cholera is a diarrheal disease, which means that when you ingest the bacteria, it goes through your digestive system, begins to do its damage, and then the resultant effect is the diarrhea and vomiting. Now, when the human excreta is then deposited in the wrong place, you know, in Ghana, I'm sure you are aware that from the Ghana Statistical Service, they say 1 out of 4 households practice open defecation. Now that is serious.
Yeah.
You know? And so when you practice open defecation, what happens then is that when it rains, the runoff water then carries it's morning TV, so I'm trying to be as nice as possible. But it carries the excreta into our sources of water. Right? And now, we know that not every Ghanaian has access to potable water. And what you may not even be aware of, that even those of us who seemingly have access to potable water, because of breakages in the pipe, there is still some risk of contamination from what I'm describing. So when it rains and the runoff water carries the excreta, it contaminates water sources. And so when you now use those water sources to prepare food, especially food that does not require heat, cooking. You know, so use it to, let's say, wash your fruits, or use it to as drinking water. You are immediately exposed to the bacteria. That's the Vibrio cholerae. And then the infection continues. So it spreads from human through water. This is why in 2024 it is unacceptable to be dealing with this outbreak. What's interesting to note is that it does not spare the urban area. I mean, you'd have thought that is the rural areas where you have access to potable water, but no. As you have seen in the current outbreak, they are experiencing. I mean, the deaths and the admissions are coming from more or less urban, peri-urban. So it tells you that everybody is at risk of cholera outbreak. So we really have to pay attention to our sanitation and our hygiene. It goes without saying.
Right, Doc, so you spoke about access to potable water. How practical can we be when we want to take steps to purifying our water? Because these days, with the issue of galamsey, open defecation and whatnot, we are prone to using lots of contaminated water. And in some cases, our taps are not flowing as it should be. So how practical can we be when we want to purify water before we use it for our household chores?
It is definitely challenging. I mean, because there's a cost component, and I mean, this is why cholera is actually still with us, because of the cost of purchasing the purification material as you are referring to, you know. And so the ideal or the best way to have handled this would have been to make sure that everybody has potable water through Ghana Water, you know, where the water is picked from source, is taken through the purification process, and then you just literally open your tap and then you have access to potable water. But like I said, unfortunately, we don't have that situation immediately. What we were taught when we were growing up, I mean in school, was that if you fetch water and the water does not look clean, you can use a cloth to filter the water, right? And then on top of that, the next step would be to boil the water. Unfortunately, this education is not being utilized as much, or it's not being propagated as much anymore. And so, I mean, you hardly find people actually boiling their water for drinking. And that is part of the reason, because if we cannot guarantee that everybody will get clean drinking water, then the next thing will be to go on a public health campaign to promote boiling water before drinking. You know? And then also hand washing. Interestingly, during COVID, I mean, we've had cholera outbreaks almost every year, but during COVID, there was hardly any cholera outbreak, and the reason is very simple. Hand washing was the order of the day. Everywhere you went, offices, your own house, everywhere you went, we were washing hands, we were using the sanitizer, and that actually made a massive impact in the incidence of cholera and even typhoid. You know, and so it tells you that hand washing definitely plays a key role in preventing the spread of cholera. And so that's a campaign that we really need to amplify, so that we can get ahead of this curve. But the ultimate solution to this cholera issue, this yearly cholera outbreak, is to guarantee potable water for every citizen in this country. You know, but let me also be quick to add that there is also a mindset problem. I mean, I know David mentioned this earlier, because sometimes it beats my mind how we as a people can allow our surroundings to become so dirty. I mean, government may have a policy of cleanliness, or whichever policy they'll put together, but ultimately, if your house is unkempt, if your house is untidy, unhygienic, it's not going to take government to come and make sure that those surroundings are hygienic. So we really have to, we really have to own our part in this whole cholera discussion. Why would you go? I mean, there's a public toilet facility in the community, yet people are still defecating outside in the open, you see. And this is the case in a lot of areas. So you wonder what exactly is going on. You know, I mean, there is definitely a social aspect that we really have to explore and find out how we can deal with this cholera outbreak on the cultural level, as well as on the economic aspect as well.
Right. So let's just educate the public a little. what should somebody see to know that, oh, I'm suffering or it looks like I have cholera? Educate us about the symptoms and signs to note or to look out for when somebody really has cholera.
All right, so as we said in the beginning, it's a diarrheal disease. So the classic sign is going to be diarrhea, and the diarrhea is not your typical diarrhea that you have a few bouts of loose stool and then you're up and going. This is diarrhea that you are literally pouring water, significant amounts of water, and it's so significant that you hardly have formed stool in this diarrhea. So it's very, very serious, and then sometimes it's coupled with vomiting as well. So if anybody develops diarrhea associated with vomiting, you need to quickly go to the hospital. But before you go to the hospital, you can also begin rehydration therapy on your way or at home. But then the challenge is because we don't know which diarrhea episode is cholera and which one is not cholera. The advice is that you need to make plans to go to hospital immediately. But you can start with oral rehydration salts, ORS, right? So if you notice that you are having diarrhea, ORS is your first line. You start with ORS and then you make your way to the hospital. It is very important that you do that. Cholera is treatable, and the treatment is actually quite simple. Replace the fluid the person is losing and then start some antibiotic treatment. Unfortunately, you cannot do this at home, so you need to get to the hospital. The reason why a lot of people are dying, or a lot of people die from cholera, is because of the delays in getting to the hospital. So if you're able to get to the hospital early, we will be able to intervene and hopefully save your life. So please do not stay home. Report to hospital immediately, and the team will take care of you.
Now, in a case of you're looking at Adan, where the outbreak initially began, what can they do in their community, considering that the public toilet, the only public toilet that they started to build was, the construction was truncated because the manhole was taking in water from the environment. So it was like they couldn't finish building it. So now they are still left without a place of public convenience. So what advice can you give to individuals who have their homes? What can they do?
Again, this is a very difficult question. I mean, immediately what we need to do is that once you finish passing stool, you need to wash your hand with soap and water. That's the immediate thing we need to do. And you need to do this even before you touch any food as well. So when you finish defecating, wash your hand with soap and running water. That's number one. And you do the same thing again before you eat. And if you're going to use water to wash your food or water to cook, especially food that are fresh foods, you need to make sure that this is boiled, cool water, not just water that you fetch straight from whichever water source and then you're going to use. Okay. Sometimes we make the mistake of assuming that when you fetch water into a reservoir, that water becomes clean over time, but that's not true. We all know that when you leave water in a container, the particles begin to form along the line. So that water is still not clean. So you need to boil it and cool it before you use it to wash your fruits or vegetables or to drink. Very important. So those are the immediate steps that we can take. In the long term, the assemblies need to also take some amount of blame for what is going on. How we are allowed to put up buildings without toilet facility does not make any sense, to be honest. And then the engineers obviously need to come in, because in this place, if the soil is that waterlogged, there needs to be some form of engineering approach to prevent the water from seeping into the septic tank so that it can actually be used. Because that indeed, if you're able to block the transfer of fecal matter into drinking water or into water sources, we can actually end this cholera, this annual cholera cycle that we have been dealing with. So that is in the long term, So the immediate term is that if you use the washroom or if you go and defecate, you need to wash your hand with soap and running water. And when you're about to eat, you need to wash your hand with soap and running water again, so that you can break the transmission of cholera from one person to another person. And then the long term is where the assemblies and the engineers need to come in and prevent all these other aspects from occurring.
All right, okay. Dr. Kelvin, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. Thank you once again. So we'll be speaking with Dr. Calvin Owusu. He is with the Violet Medical Center. He's a wellness consultant. We're going to take a quick break. When we're back, we're going to have some further discussion on this matter of cholera.
Introducing a new era of sophistication and power. The Haval Julian from Zondatech Ghana Limited. The Julian is packed with features that elevate your journey. Enjoy excellent interior build quality designed for comfort and style. Experience an impressively smooth and refined drivetrain powered by a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine with 147 horsepower and 220 newton-meters of torque. Visit us at your nearest dealership and drive away your brand new Haval Julian.
Call us on 0501 772222 or 0501 773333.
Dr. Baumian once said,
They are hurting the economy. These taxes are hurting. And therefore, you are not going to get the growth. And when you don't get the growth, you will not get the revenue. And when you don't get the revenue, you go back to increasing taxes to get the revenue. And then you are in a cyclical downward spiral. And so they have it wrong.
Plenty English know the full baskets. They told us they'd move us from taxation to production, but they rather imposed over 40 taxes on suffering Ghanaians. Vote John Dramani Mahama for president. Trustworthy, honest, and reliable. Vote for change. Choose the umbrella. Vote John Dramani Mahama and the NDC.
Get ready! The Harvest Chapel International Overcomers Convention is here! It's a week of the word and demonstrations of God's love and power. Theme: Wisdom for Building the Church. And God's servants ministering are Prophet Eric Oklu Parsley, Living Fountain Baptist Church, Bishop Ewusi Brookman, Rhema Calvary Center, and Dr. Michael Bwedi Nyamiche, Makers House Chapel International. And it's hosted by Reverend Fitzgerald Odonko. Prepare your heart, soul, and mind, and let's meet at Tehila Temple, Harvest Chapel International, South Tesano, from Tuesday 26th November to Sunday 1st December, 6 p.m. each night from Tuesday to Friday, and 9 a.m. on Sunday. Song ministrations will be by the Harvest Gospel Choir, and Wonyam and Calvis Hammond. Make time to be at the life transforming Overcomers Convention 2024.
Mobile phones, television, air condition, speakers, computers, laptops. When him say Franco Trading Enterprise, and that's why you're #1. Say open phones, papa pan and one kadie, and they brought that from so-called phones bit to say Nokia, Samsung, iPhone, Infinix, Huawei, STG, Alcatel, and the phone beer open we are simubia, and your Franco Trading Enterprise. Boraya shop beer and we're gonna have fun beer. Nekopa dear. I so, Mamma Posamutunu do soap, which have been bringing a do no. And Franco Trading Enterprise. Franco Trading Enterprise. And your phone papa and the accessories papa. I hear you.
Ho Ajia.
Abba. My sister, no watch it today. Where is Ajia?
Hospital. They tested her and found out she has malaria.
Again?
Yes. The mosquitoes are too many in this area.
Why? Don't you people sleep under insecticide-treated nets?
I don't do. Because I don't feel comfortable sleeping under it. Even the one I had, I gave it to my parents.
Abba, the treated net really works, especially when you sleep under it every night and throughout the night. When you get it at fresh, dry it under the shade for at least 2 or more days.
Like under the tree?
Yes, or any shady place that does not have direct contact with the sun. At night, ensure you tuck it in well under your mattress or mat. Leave no room for mosquitoes to enter. During the day, tie or roll it nicely to prevent damage.
I see.
When the treated net gets dirty, wash it gently with mild bar soap and hang it under the shade to dry. It can be washed 20 times and can last 3 years.
Wow.
Sew up every small hole you find in it.
This is good news.
That's it. Follow the above process of caring for insecticide-treated net and sleep under it to prevent malaria. The heat is mostly from your room. Either air doesn't come in or your windows are too small or closed. Allow enough air into your room to reduce the heat.
Hey, Ajia. Customer. I am so glad you're back. How are you feeling now?
I have suffered. What malaria did to me, we should all do our best to prevent it for our own good life. Now, I sleep under the new insecticide-treated net I have. It is strong, it does not tear easily, and it works the same way.
It's true. As for we, the pregnant women, the new treated net is given to us for free at the health centers.
Let's all come on board Good Life to eliminate malaria now.
Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID and the US President's Malaria Initiative.
In the heart of our communities, change is not just a dream, it's a promise.
I don't have to worry about rising costs and taxes. Dr. Baumia's flat rate tax system is a breath of fresh air. It means I can keep more of what I earn and invest back into my business.
I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, but what matters most is to feel secured. Dr. Baumia's initiative for the elderly is to make sure we are not forgotten. He's giving us the exact care that we deserve.
With digital skills training, I am no longer worried about the future. Dr. Baumia empowers us to thrive in a digital world, making us ready for tomorrow's jobs.
Job opportunities are crucial for my generation. Dr. Baumia is committing to creating job opportunities and entrepreneurship. With his vision, we can build our dreams.
Together, we can transform our nation. Dr. Baumia's plan arranges policies. They are pathway for prosperity for every Ghanaian.
It's time for leadership that listens and acts. A vision for all of us, where every voice matters and every dream is possible. Vote Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
Esuro, vote number 1 on the ballot.
Hey! Today at my office. Oh, my people, welcome. Please, sit down. Today you brought another gist. So what's the gist today?
So, boss, you say that the election is won or lost at the polling station.
Exactly.
So if you be sure, why say you be the EC chairperson where they announce the winner? Why?
Okay, all right. I get your point. Let me break it down for you. You see, in the presidential elections, the whole country is considered as one constituency. So all the results need to be collated from all the polling stations before the EC chair can arrive at the results to declare. You understand? Good. You see, it all starts at the polling station. Pink sheets with results at the polling station are forwarded to the constituency collation center. Here, the results from all the polling stations are collated and the constituency results are declared. The results are then posted right there at the center. So at the regional collation center, the results from all the constituencies within the region are collated and the regional winner is declared. The results are then posted at the center.
Oh, this process belongs, Papa.
Masa, we've not even finished yet. Yes, so now the regional results are then forwarded to us at the EC head office. And remember, political party representatives are there, observers are there, the media is also there. All of them are monitoring everything very critically. You understand? And so, at the EC head office,
under the monitoring of all the stakeholders. All that the EC chairperson does is to add up the results from all the 16 regions to arrive at the winner of the presidential elections. So the EC chair cannot declare any winner they want? Impossible. You understand? Look, in this process, there is no way the EC chair can declare a winner aside the one elected by the 40,000 polling stations across the country. Oh, I get down now. But how about the voting for the MPs? That one, how did they do? That one is straightforward. Remember, that is at the Constituency Collation Center. So the results from all the polling stations are put together and the results are declared right there. So again, if a party fails to properly collate their own pin sheet results, or not say,
Take note that all through this process, all political party agents and observers, them did their freely. Nobody they sleep. From the polling stations to the constituency collation centers, to the regional collation centers, and even the national collation center at the EC head office. All political party agents and observers, them did their constant. Them open them eyes all they watch everything freely. Nobody go fit steal this election inside. Look, even EC chairperson self no go fit steal this election inside. 2024 elections. It be Frenchim. It be clean. And with the whole kind. No kululu.
He have not shown sign of settling down.
Oh, you don't mean it. The power to deliver is available.
I might have a solution.
You take this and spray twice. Shake the gem. Place it on your lips and say the magic word. Yes. You, my darling, are unlucky in love.
Another morning, another day filled with possibilities. My old car reflects my journey, and today could be the day I take a big step forward. Anything is possible. Just think about it.
My shelves are ready to be filled, and soon the flat rate will open up exciting new opportunities. I can already envision a vibrant shop bustling with customers, all eager to discover what I have to offer.
I feel optimistic about import costs. Why? Because with DMB flat duty rates, my expenses will be more manageable. I can see my business thriving.
Every moment spent with my son brings back wonderful memories.
I tell you, my son, with my digital skills, now one can create games in a website.
All right, welcome back. Now, just a quick reminder for you that as we've been discussing this whole cholera issue, yes, there's some basic practices. Just make sure that, like Dr. Kelvin said, wash your hands after you use the washroom, always.
With soap and running water.
Running water. Number 2, before you eat, wash your hands again, okay? And if you have fresh food or food that you can't heat, make sure that it's washed properly, okay, with clean water. Just some advice. After a quick break, we're going to go to the community forum, Channel 1 community forum. After breakfast daily, we're going to go to Channel 1 community forum. It's at 9 a.m. And after 9 a.m.,